everyone! Today I'm going to be talking about 4 different strategies you can use as a new school leader to cultivate trust with staff. These are just tips to help you get started because building trust with staff is an ongoing process that requires a lot of intentionality and care. So let's get started. Tip number 1 is to understand the staff's context. Many educators have had negative experiences with leadership, and these experiences are going to impact their perceptions of your actions regardless of your intentions. I really recommend taking time to learn about what people like and what they don't like. You can ask this in a general way and learn more about what are things that leaders do that they like that make them feel supported and build their trust versus what are the things that leaders are doing that they don't like that might leave them feeling frustrated and break their trust. This knowledge can be so helpful because then you can start to adjust your leadership style to tread carefully around those sensitive areas. And also you can be really proactive in doing the things that they like to be able to cultivate that trust sooner. Tip number 2 is to own your actions, especially the minor ones. Of course, owning your actions also applies to more serious situations where maybe you've made a bigger mistake, but here I'm referring more to the minor things that are just as important to own. Some examples of these minor situations I'm referring to are not following up from a hallway conversation, maybe leaving some questions by staff unanswered, showing up late to a meeting, not intervening maybe when a leader should have, or saying the wrong thing in a meeting, things of this nature. All of these things may seem relatively minor in comparison to what us leaders are dealing with on a daily basis, but these are really the things that are going to be indicators to staff on if we're someone that they can trust and rely on. Taking the initiative to proactively acknowledge and apologize for your mistakes, taking ownership that it was your responsibility, communicating how you'll approach it differently next time, and following up to ensure that you do actually do better next time is arguably one of the most important things that is going to help cultivate a positive relationship and build trust with staff. Tip number 3 is to practice radical transparency. Be transparent and honest about your capabilities. Don't commit to things you can't do, don't overextend yourself or your boundaries, and don't mask if you don't know the answer to something. Instead, be transparent and communicate your limitations, and then focus on what you're going to do to address the situation despite them. Honestly, being transparent and sharing information with staff helps build trust because you invite them into the partnership of problem solving, and you can come up with something collectively to still address the issue. It also allows staff to get to know you and to be able to start humanizing you within your role too. The key thing to remember is that every issue that is brought to you is important to that person and is likely a very high priority to them. To us leaders, it might seem minor in the grand scheme of things because we have oversight into everything that's going on, but to that individual, it is very important and likely they've tried other avenues before bringing it up to you. Because of that, when you are transparently communicating, it is important to still treat their concern with respect and care. The 4th tip is to show support in various ways. So this goes back to understanding where staff were maybe wronged in the past by previous leaders. Were they micromanaged? Were they left alone with challenging students? Were they not supported with a difficult parent? I firmly believe that our primary role as a school leader is to support staff first and foremost. So it's so important to find out what does support actually look like to them, not just what you think the support should be. To one staff member, it might be helping them strategize for a conversation with a difficult parent. Another might just be wanting an instructional thought partner to plan lessons with. To another, it might be helping them set up classroom expectations to manage challenging behaviors. And for someone else, it might be protecting their plan period from other staff distractions. As a leader, you can truly build trust with staff by differentiating your approach and how you're supporting them and making sure that they also feel the support. It has to be a two-way street. In my opinion, it's really about how can I be a better leader for them and their needs. So those are some of my tips to start building trust with staff as a new leader. If you found those helpful, I actually have a lot more tips and I'd be happy to share those. Also, what are some of the challenges that you've been experiencing throughout your first years of leadership? please put them in the comments below. I want to make sure that the content I'm creating is relevant to you because I really want to support you through your first years of leadership and to create the things I wish I had when I first started. Thank you for watching, and I hope you experienced the joy of doing something you love today. Bye.